Good morning, everybody. It's been a while since we last communicated on this Facebook page, The Extraordinary Christ, and I gotta apologize, man. That was before Thanksgiving, and so here we are. It's a new year, so I thought we might as well dive into a look and a walk with Jesus, as at least Mark tells us about him, and hope that it will help us all. Sometimes I've lost my way spiritually and needed to sort of just get back to the basics. And church can get kind of kooky sometimes. And so just focusing on Jesus seems to be a very good thing. So that's what we're going to try to do as we study these scriptures together. So anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to try to keep it relatively short on these things, and we'll start out in Mark chapter 1, verse 1, and it goes like this. This is the good news about Jesus, the Messiah, the Son of God. We're going to stop right there. This is going to take a while. No, it's pretty interesting, isn't it? How this starts. This is the good news. And, I don't know about you, but I need some good news. And I stopped watching the news on TV a long time ago because it just wasn't good. And I think I've done okay since that time. But good news. Sometimes you have to check things off. Good, better, best. And good seems to be like whatever, better, okay, best, whoo. And, it's just interesting, the choice of words here. Good. I would say that's an understatement about what we're about to look at. And I think it's pretty cool that the gospel writers didn't feel like they had to embellish things or sensationalize things. I think I would have. I think if I had been writing this, I would have said, guys, you just better buckle up because this is going to blow your stinking minds. This is the best news, the most fantastic, incredible, unbelievable news that you will ever hear. That's what we're going to be talking about, but he just doesn't say that. And I think he probably doesn't say that because he's going to go, you know what? I'm just going to let this story tell itself. I'm going to let you be the judge. Let's just look at this man Jesus. And Mark doesn't have a lot of teachings or Jesus's teachings. It pretty much is about Jesus's life. And my dad was a preacher, and one of his favorite poems that he would read was, "I'd rather see a sermon than hear one any day." And it's a great poem. You should look it up. But boy, isn't that true? I would rather see a sermon than hear one. And Jesus he had a lot of great sermons, but wow, to observe his life had to be just amazing. So he starts out with good news. And so there's that one way of thinking about it. Good, all right, but then you have to really look at that word good as God uses good. And that changes things a little bit. Doesn't it? You remember when God created the heavens and the earth? After each day he would, that was good. You just created the universe and you say it's good? Or you created all the animals, the flying creatures, and all the creatures of the sea, or all the plants, and you go, good? He finally, when it was all said and done, he went, that was very good. So maybe if we look at good the way that God looks at good, or the way he uses good, it would make more sense when he says, this is the good news about Jesus, the Messiah, the Son of God. And, he just uses those three terms, Jesus. He was a real man. He was flesh and blood. And you got to love what John had to say about him in John chapter 1. He says, we saw him. We touched him. We saw his glory. And he wasn't a fairy tale. He wasn't a figment of our imagination. He was here. He was real. He lived among us. The Messiah. And, I can't even begin to understand what that really meant to the Jews, but it was like, finally, after all these hundreds of years, he has come. And then the Son of God, he was of God. He was the essence of God. And, God can be a little bit hard to understand. I know for me, I look at the Old Testament sometimes and I kind of go, oh my gosh, I don't know. But I love what Jesus said about himself. He says, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. And I may have a hard time understanding God by looking at the Old Testament, and that's just because I'm just kind of dense. But boy, I can really understand the God that I see when I look at Jesus. So we're going to be looking at him and taking a few minutes every week to share some things from the Scriptures. And I hope it'll be encouraging. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.